How long have y'all been working together?
Over 8 years.
Yeah. Over 8 years?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's very hopeful for us, for Steve and I, because we started working together full time on our business almost 2 full years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's better now. I mean, and it's always been good. It's always been good. But the first year was really like what y'all just talked about was you have to find your lane, you have to find your strengths, and you can't cross them because it's really hard to keep the personal out of business when you're working with your spouse.
Of course.
This last year, we've really focused on finding our lane. You know, he stays in his lane. He's much better at like operations, analytics, making sure the money makes sense, making sure that the bills go out. Whereas, you know, I'd send bills out on like the 15th and he's like, Nicole, we have to send the bills out, to our clients. And I'm better on the HR and the client side, dealing with, you know, kind of managing the HR team that we have and dealing with our clients and creating those relationships. Steve's a great networker also, but it's been an interesting, like probably last 8 months is really where we found our stride, which is great, but it's always a challenge. And you have a child in the mix. So does that complicate it even more?
It hasn't. I mean, the only thing it complicates is just scheduling.
Sure.
You know, being available. Because, you know, our daughter, you know, obviously she comes first. But, you know, it's one of those, because people have asked us in the industry and when we were in Los Angeles and, you know, how do we do it? How do we work as a team? And in our office, we were actually kind of the first male-female team. Okay. And then happened to also, you know, be together. So, you know, it's one of those things where money goes to the same bank account, right? So that's the end goal. You know, we got to provide a great service, and in return, we're compensated, and it all goes to the same place. And I mean, there were so many times that, you know, we'd be showing properties, and, you know, an older gentleman who clearly is taking a liking to her. Sure. So, you know, here you are, sir. Let me open the door, sir. Here's some water, sir. You know, and I'll be the assistant. I'll be whatever needs to be done. Yeah. And then vice versa. Yeah. If for whatever reason the agent or the client is feeling gravitating to me, she takes a step back. So I think we are very good at checking our ego. Yeah. I think that's a huge thing for us. And especially for a guy, you know, and Jason is incredible at it. I mean, I got a big ego. But you can check it when it's needed.
Well, like you said, the money goes to the same bank account.
Yeah.
However, we got to get it there.
You know. So, I mean, for us, it's just, but yeah, I think that was just kind of and fortunately, you know, she talked about me being patient. She's very, very patient with me. I mean, there's, you know, so many times that she could have fed into something that I was being needed, you know, whatever about. And
it's a skill that not a lot of people have. And it's, so how did you learn that skill, both of you?
I think how should I say this? I think we were just so lucky that we found each other, because we work and live together like 24/7. And I can't imagine this with anyone else. Like, this would never work with any of my exes. With Jason, like, even if I go out with my girls by the second hour, I'm like, oh, I wish, you know, like, be with like, I don't know, the COVID, it was amazing in a sense that I got to spend like 24 hours with him. It's just so easy. Like when you don't have to piece those puzzle pieces together, but they just fit. And I feel like for us, like, and in work, we had never had one argument. We might had in personal life, but over work, never. And hope that stays. Yeah, I mean, because I think we always keep the goal in mind. Like, what's the goal? What's, you know, the end? Where we're trying to get to? And, you know, I think where a lot of work relationships in general, and, you know, obviously personal relationships, is you kind of get in this battle of power, right? Yep. And then, well, if you did that, I'm going to do this, and it just escalates, and nothing good comes out of that. Yeah. And so this is the support for us. For us, we're so supportive of each other, because if she succeeds, I succeed, and vice versa. So I think from the beginning, we discussed it, and I remember, you know, she tried to kind of play a game, and I shut it down. But pretty quick. In real life. And, you know, and that's when she was like, okay, and then that's when it was just like, okay, we're in this together, and it's just kind of been that way. And, you know, obviously,
we always kind of say, like, there's so many challenges in business and personal life, and everybody wants to take you down, and everybody wants to step on
world.
you. Yeah, from the world. You're on your own, so it's like, why, battle it yourself, or battle it with my best friend, who's my partner, who's my baby mama, who's all these wonderful things. So we look at it as we take the world on. Let's go. Like, you're fighting us.
We're together in it.
But we would like to do it together.
Yeah, I love that.
So I mean, that's how we look at it.
That's amazing. That's great advice. We've talked to several people who work together with their spouse, and everyone kind of, you always get that kind of like cringy laugh of like, how's it going? And I think I love it, like, it's not a power struggle. It's like it's a support. Like, let's support each other.
So he gives me this energy, and I'm trying to give him more of it, and that's how you build up. That's how you lift up each other.
I love that.
And I think, like, we're really good at this together. I don't know. I really like him. Not only love him, but I like you.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, we love being, like, we don't like not being around each other. I think that's kind of.
Yeah, we're a package deal.
That's amazing. Well, and I'm sure we bought our house with a husband and wife team, and they worked together, lived together, raising kids together, and it just felt very natural with them. And they both had their own strengths. So Alex, it's the Pettit group. Alex Pettit was a builder before he and Amanda, his wife. She was doing real estate. She's like, hey, why don't you come over and do the real estate side? And so it was kind of perfect that he was with us during the build and knew what to look for, and she really helped with the all the paperwork and everything. And it also felt very natural to work with a couple. And I think that having two perspectives, like, it's like having a team with you instead of one agent, you get two for the price of one.
Well, and you may not
100%
connect with that person, you know what I mean? And that's what, like, not that person's a bad person, just for whatever reason you're not vibing with them, but we may not vibe, but you may love talking to her, and Stephen and I may be great. So it's just, it just, there's a comfort that comes with that, I think.
Absolutely. And you become friends with your
we're friends with all our clients.
It's like, we've gone to concerts with them, we've hung out with them, they've come to our show. Like, they're just amazing people. And, it becomes this very, like, there's like a loyalty to it, and, when we moved to Easton Park, there are a lot of real estate agents, and they're like, well, now we're friends, you can work with us. And we're just like, I think this is an ironclad relationship.
It needs to be.
Like, why start over, unless there's something really weird happened. And I'm sure it is like therapy. And I'm sure y'all see some crazy stuff too. Just like walking into like open house. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're in HR. Listen, we see some real crazy stuff too. But like, I don't know if y'all walked in on some weird stuff.
I mean, our lips are sealed.
Okay. I love that. I love that.
It's
definitely see some weird stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some dungeony stuff.
Yeah, like, you see there's so many videos and TikToks and stuff out there where they're like, look at this house that's like for sale on like Redfin or Zillow or something, and it's just like, you flip through the pictures and it's like people have done weird things in their home.
Yeah, and that's where you got to learn too, is like, she sometimes has strong opinions of certain houses. Oh, and I'm like, well, but you're not the one who's moving into it, So, I think in the beginning of our career, we we thought maybe this would be a disastrous house. Who would ever want it? And all of a sudden, it has 5 or 10 offers. So it's like, okay, our opinions don't necessarily, we're not here to share our taste. We're here to make sure, the house is great, this, that, and the other, they love it. But yeah, we definitely, I mean, my favorite stuff though to see is like, I like seeing original stuff, like things that, like from like the 60s or 70s that was really unique that you don't see today in a lot of properties. So for me, I like seeing that stuff, but yeah, there's some freaky stuff you see it for sure.
I'm sure. It's got to be hard to, I guess that's another, you got to check your ego of like, I would never live in this home. And your client's like, oh my God, I love it. You're like, I do too. It's perfect. Are there situations where you help in where maybe you walk into a home from the 60s or the 70s that's, has the shag carpet and the brick planters inside, and say, okay, do you want to keep it like this? Or do you help people come up with like budgets to what is it going to take to make this look more modern?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of something that I do more for our clients. Yeah, I mean, we'll help with the design process and stuff like that. Kind of what's trending, where, because there's certain things that are trending, and then there's certain things that we know kind of will always be nice in a property. So we really try, at least for our clients to let them know, like, this is a choice that may not be a positive choice 5 years from now,
Sure.
you know, the style is changing and stuff like that. Do have a little bit of, you know, investment, house flipping, renovation type background.
Sure.
So, you know, I do kind of get involved in that more. We're actually dealing with that with Trent in Los Angeles, a client of ours. He's one of our flipper clients, and every house that we've done, sold, and he's bought through us, I've actually been the one that designs it. So
nice.
Yeah, we were actually just doing FaceTiming with some flooring the other day.
That's fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get him to do some herringbone flooring.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. And so, and you're looking at that if he's flipping homes, so you're looking at it from like an investment.
Yeah,
point,
100%.
Like saying, okay, what is going to be, I guess, appealing to the vast majority of people who are going to come in and try to buy.
Yeah, and I mean, especially like, you know, this client, he's specifically in Los Angeles.
Sure.
And you know, which is kind of nice for us here, and I do feel that LA is kind of leading the way in what's the style and the trends for homes and stuff like that. So we kind of get exposed to things first out there, and then we can bring them here, and then you'll see it like a year or two later. So it you know, kind of makes us look like geniuses when it's just like,
you're like,
this is what we did over there. Like, you know, this was in every house over there.
Outdated in California.
Yeah. But it, you know, it works, and you know, so I think it's kind of nice.
That's amazing. Do you, as far as like your type of clients, like I know you like working with the new buyers, but so you're working with like people who flip homes, helping with design, helping with what other kind of clients are you helping with?
Celebrity clients, athletes. Yeah. Our Rolodex of clients is very broad, but I mean, that's just kind of
tech.
Lots of tech.
Yeah,
I was actually one of the agents on moving all these Oculus Facebook guys from the Bay, San Fran, down to LA. They were trying to build something called Silicon Beach, which out in Venice with all the tech, and like cool. And COVID pretty much kind of shut it down. But yeah, so I was in with those guys for a while, and yeah, I mean, a little bit of everything. I mean,
friends, lots of friends.
Yeah, lots of friends. I mean, that's the thing is LA, because you know, you were in LA for 10 years. I was there for 21. And I think that was kind of also what helped our business was our friends, as they grew, we grew with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're in whatever fields they were in, with professions, you know, success is happening. We were having success in real estate. So it just kind of was a natural team, I guess. And that really kind of elevated I think our real estate in Los Angeles.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I think that it's I can't wait to introduce you guys to so many people in our network, because I felt like this the other day. We had a happy hour with a group of guys. They're now our clients, but I kind of grew up in the workspaces with them. My background before we started this was commercial real estate. Okay. I did operations and HR, and I mean, I wasn't an agent, but that's a whole. I understand the world of that and the people. And we had happy hour with Rob Shands and Daniel Mahoney and another friend of ours, Lee Sawyer, who we just sat and we talked about business. And I was sitting there looking at these guys going, I remember being a younger kind of rank and file employee, and looking up to kind of leadership and seeing how they would go and hang out and how they would grow and how they would have these events, and being a part of one. It kind of struck me as strange. Like, we all kind of grew up together, and now we've all have teams of people looking up to us. And I think that when you grow with your network, it's just absolute support and joint success, because when they're successful, you're successful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
And I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, it's really motivating.